Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global market reporter at Nasdaq, with daily insight on the Nasdaq-100 index, or the NDX, which is made up of 100 of the largest domestic and international non-financial innovative companies listed on Nasdaq. The NDX has been the barometer for U.S. large cap growth and also one of the best performing indexes over the last decade and a half, not to mention one of the most liquid index ecosystems in the world. Joining me this Tuesday afternoon, we have Shawn, Cruz, manager of trader services at TD Ameritrade, to discuss Nasdaq-100 performance trends in the Nasdaq Volatility Index, or what we call VOLQ. We'll also take a look at the SOX index for the semiconductors. Shawn, it's great to see you. Welcome back to Trade Talks.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Definitely an interesting week going on in markets, so a lot to talk about.
We do have a lot to catch up on, and particularly the Nasdaq-100. The beginning of December has not been that favorable to the index, as we're starting to see rotation into other sectors, whereas tech has really been the leadership for quite some time.
Yeah, and I think it makes sense. You're going to continue to see some of these choppy moves on a day-to-day basis. It looks like there is a little bit of a rotation going on where there's some flows into some of the more defensive sectors that are out there, although you do have financials holding up fairly well today. I think right now, though, you're just looking for some stability, and the moves, the swings that we're getting, going from being down 2% to up 2%, you really just want to start to see those moves compress a little bit, where the chop back and forth slowly gets smaller and smaller. That can lead to a little bit more of a stabilizing factor in the market, and that's where you could see some buyers coming back in.
And so, Shawn, not only are we seeing the rotation here, but really the SOX index, you have to take a look at that as well, because there really are a lot of the same constituents in it.
There are, and there's one big one. NVIDIA has a very high weighting in that index. It's one of the top 10 symbols in terms of weighting for the overall Nasdaq-100 as well. So I think when you're looking at the semiconductors, that might be one area to look at as one of the first shoes to drop in terms of some stabilization. And I'm specifically looking at the semiconductors because they're trading down now towards an area that looks like a pretty decent support level that we've seen hold in the past. We did get a breakthrough that level, but it wasn't very long-lived before we saw that recovery. So right around where the semiconductors are trading now, if you can get some stability there and then start getting some stability out of some of the other names that are out there, Tesla, Amazon, Apple's holding up fairly well today, Microsoft's getting hit pretty hard. So if you just start to see some stabilization out of some of those big names and maybe the semiconductor sector as a whole, I think that can be what leads to the market overall stabilizing itself as well. We can start to see some of this volatility come in a little bit.
All right, Shawn, appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global market reporter at Nasdaq.